Hi, I'm Marcel James. Welcome back to The Pulse. About 6 weeks ago, I posted a video about my experience taking NMN and Resveratrol, and I would have never expected to have over 100,000 views at this point. I'm really grateful for that and all the interest. I was just just sharing a story that seemed interesting to me, and apparently it resonated with a lot of you as well. For example, a new topic I wanted to talk about is brain fog. And it's something that I stumbled upon an interview. First of all, my background is in audio. So we had this term called the noise floor. And when a fan is on really loud in your room, it drowns out all the other noise below it. You turn the fan off and you can hear other things that are going on. And in audio, as an audio engineer, you address those issues one at a time. So with the same approach with NMN and resveratrol, feeling so great as I was, a lot of energy, a lot of focus, other benefits that have come up since that last video that I'll talk about in a moment. But also I noticed that there was this like fog. And I didn't know if it was my eyes, because I do need a new prescription for my glasses. But I stumbled upon a video talking about brain fog, and it was an interview with Dr. Steven Gundry, who's known as the gut doctor. He wrote a book called The Plant Paradox that's very interesting, and he believes that all disease stems from the gut, and that this brain fog is actually caused by the microbiome not functioning properly, the good bacteria around your gut, and that the gut is a single cell thick. The cells are very packed very close together, but you can have what's called a leaky gut, and it'll affect your entire body and your brain, and you get this fog. So I decided to give Dr. Gundry a shot and follow the steps that he recommends to address brain fog. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but first I want to recap some things with NMN and resveratrol that I've been taking now 2 months. And I've noticed steady improvements in the energy and in the focus, but also these wellness type. I don't really have a description for them. They're sort of like sensitivity to hot and cold, appreciation, more present, being in the moment for longer periods of time, able to appreciate like time with my kids, which has been amazing, and just spending time listening to music and able to hold that interest longer, and that emotional interest, I guess, is really what I'm trying to say. I have an upcoming interview that I just recorded with the CEO of DoNotAge, one of the verified suppliers of supplements that I take. And Alan Graves is the CEO of DoNotAge. And he had also some insights in telling me about, yes, other people are feeling these things. You have to understand that NMN is not like caffeine. It's not like a drug that boosts you right away. Some people feel something right away, like I did, because I'm hypersensitive to supplements and these kinds of things. But other people, it takes weeks, even months, before they feel the benefits. So don't get into the supplements thinking, hey, it's a quick fix or it's some kind of drug that boosts you right away, because not everybody feels that quickly. And so I also have noticed things improving slowly over time. And he said this is very common, that NMN, resveratrol, these are life wellness improvers, not just day-to-day improvers. So yeah, that's been kind of interesting. Also, other people have been commenting that they've been feeling benefits and taking the supplements. I know Howard's dad, a guy named Howard, his dad is 80 years old, didn't walk for over 18 months since COVID hit. And on September 1st, he started taking the supplements as well. And by September 13th, he was feeling so good, he went for his first walk in over a year and a half. And then he did a double session on his stationary bike, which Howard never remembers him doing. So really cool to see someone at that age also benefiting. I'm in my 50s. I've heard from other people in their 60s saying they felt like they were shot out of a cannon. Again, not everybody's going to have these quick results. It took Howard's dad a couple weeks. It may take you even a few months. So if you're going to dive in, I think you should give it a chance and give it a shot, and don't expect everything to happen at one time, because it's not a drug. It's not an instant fix. It is a cellular treatment molecule, I think is the best way to describe it. So on to Dr. Gundry. Now, usually when I make changes, I change things one at a time, because I want to be able to gauge exactly what the progress is. And with his dietary approach, I just felt like, okay, I'm going to treat this all as one thing. And there were many things that I did based on his suggestion to change. And having had such positive results to NMN, resveratrol, I'm really open-minded to what else I can do. And being able to relate to this brain fog, it was something I really wanted to try to wipe out. So the things that I did that Dr. Gundry recommends are I eliminated sugar, I eliminated processed foods. I started to intermittent fast I only eat from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I've reduced alcohol and improved my sleep as a result. So also I added some vitamins. I started taking vitamin C, which I had around the house. I usually just took it during the winter months to sort of combat, the cold and flu season. But I started taking that every day. Also started taking vitamin D and vitamin B12. So the no sugar and processed foods. For what I had been doing, and I feel kind of funny saying it now, especially with all the very positive comments in my last video about ways to improve your health and how diet is so important, I was eating cornflakes in the morning, which is a processed food. Matter of fact, it's the original processed food. Dr. Gundry specifically mentioned cornflakes in the video, which I thought was pretty funny. I stopped taking those, stopped eating those. He said it was used to be marketed as the world's first pre-digested food, as if that was a good thing. But this is a food that doesn't support your microbiome well at all. And I stopped all processed foods. I stopped eating chips. I stopped eating cookies. I stopped eating ice cream. I stopped eating all candy, all processed sugars. I still have a few natural sugars, but really greatly reduced those as well. And instead of eating that cornflakes with a banana, a ripe banana, which he also says is bad, you should eat green bananas, throw them away when they get ripe because they become pure sugar. So now I'm just eating, if I eat any banana, it's a green one. And I was putting a teaspoon of sugar on those cornflakes and then some mixed grains, some organic mixed grains, as if that fixed everything. So I was doing a lot of stuff wrong first thing in the morning, and I stopped that. Now I don't eat until 11, and I have what I call my super yogurt. DoNotAge provides a 500 milligram spoon. Matter of fact, anything you take in powder from them, they provide you a measured spoon. So I started to put a little bit more than the 500 milligrams in the spoon of resveratrol in my yogurt. Then I put the vitamin C in the yogurt, roughly a little bit less, about 400 milligrams of vitamin C powder. Then I put a few blueberries and then the mixed oats, the organic oats. I pour some of those in. It adds some substance to it. I also do add some locally grown or locally produced honey, which is not the pasteurized kind. It's not clear. It's really thick, and it's a little tough to stir into the yogurt. But I do take that, eat that local honey because I've read and I do have noticed that it helps with pollen allergies. So a little extra tip there. And then I take my TMG about 30 minutes after that breakfast. Don't eat again until 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock, I typically have some eggs, although I, from time to time, mix up my lunch, some grilled eggs, some olive oil. I do eat a little bread. Dr. Gundry doesn't like bread very much. He may like it, but he doesn't recommend eating it. And so I do eat a little bit of it but I soak up a bunch of olive oil with it. Olive oil, very, very big thumbs up there. There's a lot of overlap in the things that Dr. Gundry recommends we eat, along with David Sinclair, who's the NMN Resveratrol guy at Harvard. So it seemed natural for me to go for this, his suggestions, because they fit in to the plans that I was already trying to follow. Also at lunch, then sometimes I'll throw some olives on the plate and often a little slice of a smoked salmon. And so I kind of make a sandwich out of that with the toast and sop up all the olive oil, and that's my lunch. About 30 minutes after lunch, I will take a little over 500 milligrams. I'm now up to also 700 milligrams of NMN. Put that under my tongue, and I let that dissolve. I don't drink anything. I have some water about 20, 30 minutes after, and that's pretty much it. Then I'll typically exercise in the afternoon if it's a sport day for me. And at night, I will you have dinner by 7. I try to be done by 7, but I certainly stay up 4 hours after dinner. Dinner is typically fish or a chicken, coupled with some leafy greens, more olive oil, some balsamic, um, some broccoli, maybe some leeks thrown on it, some cucumbers. He doesn't like potatoes, particularly the skins, but my wife likes to make potatoes, so I just peel off the skins if they're on there, and I try to reduce the potatoes. And I try to also eat more mushrooms. And that's it. I stop after dinner. And I try to stop alcohol. If I have anything after dinner, I try to have some space in between the alcohol. I live in a wine region of Germany. Germany known for its beer. I do prefer beer, but I also like the local wine. There's 30 vineyards in my town that I live in, so I can walk up to them, ring the bell, and buy a really affordable, great bottle of wine. So it's tough to eliminate that altogether. And I like to buy into the science that that some wine is good for you and some beer is good for you. The beer is all pure in Germany. There's no additives. There's no preservatives. They have a very strict beer brewing law called the Reinheitsgebot that's been around for hundreds of years. So I think the beer is pretty safe here and pretty healthy in moderation. And I'm also taking days off to allow myself to sleep better, get more REM sleep, taking days off altogether from drinking anything. So results. After one day of doing this Gundry approach, this eating approach, dietary approach, the fog started to clear. I wouldn't even say start to clear. It felt like it was gone, and then it just got better after that. So no more brain fog. And that was it, just these things. And the great thing about this is whether you're on the supplements or you're not on the supplements, these things are pretty much free. I mean, okay, you may adjust what you're buying, but you're going to save from the sugary stuff and the processed stuff, and you're just going to displace that with some healthier foods. I notice that when I'm eating less, I appreciate the taste of the foods I'm having. And now that I've eliminated sugar, the taste of vegetables and everything is just a lot better. And the meat that I get, I look forward to the eggs every day. Those are supposed to be really healthy as opposed to all the, decades of science that we had bashing eggs. Now more and more evidence is coming out that they're great for you. And the energy level, like I do at sports or tennis in the afternoons, it does last a lot longer. So if I have a regular lunch without eggs, for example, or some regular proteins, those tend to wear off faster, the energy from them. With the eggs, it just seems to last a lot longer, and I've heard that that's the case. So yeah, I'm into that as well. Feeling even better, much better, now having that brain fog cleared. And, I do treat this whole wellness thing, the supplement taking, the exercise, the diet, as a journey, not a destination. So it's ongoing, bits of tweaks here and there, sort of gauging how I'm reacting, gauging how I'm feeling. But things are continuing to look up. I hope that you guys will comment. I hope that you'll join the NAD Booster Club. That's a new Facebook group I have. It's growing. It's new, but it's growing. We're about 150 members and growing right now every day. So come over and join in on some of the discussion. There's going to be more. Stay tuned next week for my interview with Alan Graves from DoNotAge with more great information. I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time on The Pulse.